We're here at the outdoor trade show in Liverpool, where we will be looking at the latest packs. The La Sportiva Challenger 18 is a lot of differing things. Whilst on the one hand, it could easily be used as a running vest, it has equal application either trad climbing for long multi-pitch routes, alpine climbing, or alternatively something like a mountain marathon. It's super light and has a whole bunch of differing storage options, which is what makes it so appealing for use on the move. There's pockets aplenty on both the front and on the sides, and there's space for water bottles as well. It's designed to be worn high up on the back so that it doesn't wobble around, and there's enough space in between the back of your head and the helmet so that you can raise your head if you're wearing one. The trickiest thing about this pack is going to be deciding who reviews them at UKC, because frankly, we all want one. For Spring/Summer 27, Deuter are releasing the Air Trek, which comes in a short and a standard back length at 55 plus 10 and 60 plus 10 litres. Now the thing that makes this unique compared to other high volume trekking packs is its air comfort back system. Usually packs of this size don't have an airflow back system, as it can interfere with the way it feels and the levels of stability it can offer. But Deuter have obviously got around this, presenting an extremely stable pack that when put on, feels like it's giving your back a nice big hug. This will be a real blessing on hot days when that airflow helps to keep your back as cool as can be. When it comes to features, it's got all sorts of additional storage options, both along the sides of the pack and the front, and then also along the hip belt as well. It's been tested with loads up to 25 kilos, but 18 is apparently the sweet spot. For Spring/Summer 27, Deuter are releasing the Trail 30. Now this is very much an all-rounder that you could use for hiking, climbing, scrambling, or even via ferrata. It features Deuter's Air Stripes back system, which is extremely close to your back. It's a really stable back system. If you are looking for something more breathable, you may be better off looking at something like the Futura, which is another model in their range. Another point of difference between the Trail 30 and the Futura is the addition of this harder wearing material across the front and the sides. Rather than using mesh, which might tear, they've used something which is much more abrasion resistant. It features all those other nice little touches that you'd expect from a Deuter pack, including things like the J-zip, which give you easy access to the bottom of the pack, and then also places to store things like poles and compression straps where you can adjust the volume really quickly and easily. We think this one will be really popular as it's very much a do-it-all pack that you could use for just about anything. For Spring/Summer 27, Mountain Equipment are re-releasing their classic Tupilak pack. At their core, they remain much the same, designed for alpine mountaineering. And it's that blend of really lightweight, but also extremely hard wearing. To put that weight into context, the 37 litre we've got just here comes in at 800 grams, fully featured, and it can be stripped down to 500 grams. And the 45 litre version we have here comes in at only 30 grams more. One of the major points of difference is the materials and the construction. They feature an Alula fabric both throughout the body and the base, but using differing deniers depending on the levels of durability required. So there's more on the bottom and that little bit less throughout the rest of the body. Virtually everything throughout this pack is modular and removable. So you can take anything off that you don't need in order to save weight and add it on if you do want that additional functionality. This has been a firm favourite amongst UKC staff, especially those operating within the Scottish winter environment, where these are very much at home. And the newer versions look like an improvement on that original. Rab have updated their Veil running vests for 2027, but perhaps the big story is the Valkyr, which is their first women's specific running vest. Now it features a lot of the same DNA as the Veil in terms of those features, things like the abundance of pockets and accessible storage options. However, the big change comes to the fit. This has been very much designed with women's body shapes in mind, and there's a few adjustments to things like the tapering of the pockets and the shoulder straps, and also to the materials used throughout. You still have that mono mesh on the back. Now this doesn't stretch vertically, but it does across a diagonal plane. What this means is you don't get that bounce, but you do get the benefits of that freedom of movement. Across the shoulders, they've used a much softer material, which feels nice next to skin. It includes two 500ml Hydropack soft flask bottles, which are a slightly different shape to the men's Veil. They're slightly shorter, slightly stubbier, and fit better within the shape and design of the Valkyr. There's two models available. We've got the 6 litre version here, which features a single stash pocket. That's £125. There's also a 12 litre version, which comes in at £145 and features a zip pocket. For Spring Summer 27, Gregory are launching their Tempo Pack collection. Now this is very much an all-rounder that could be used for pretty much anything, whether or not that's hiking, or even running, or climbing. There's 4 models within the range, including an 8 litre, 12 litre, 18 litre, and the 24 litre model that we have just here. And they have all sorts of useful features. Perhaps the most pronounced are the 2 pockets on the front, which can be used for either hydration, like a soft flask, or for your phone. It's basically about making things nice and accessible whilst you're on the move. On the note of on the move, it's also got a stretchy waistband. And so this is designed to keep the pack more stable whilst you are going at a faster pace. Other neat features include the draw cord, which allow you to compress the pack with just a single pull. And you've also got a zip down the side, which means you can access things at the bottom of your pack without having to go through the roll top. The price range goes from £90 for the 6 litre through to £120 for the 24 litre. For Spring Summer 27, Silva are bringing out their Strive range of packs, an 18 and a 28 litre. Now these are one of those packs that blur a lot of lines. It is fundamentally based upon the foundations of a running vest, but it could easily be used for things like fast packing or events such as the Spine. There's plenty of storage options, including a large mesh pocket down the back, 2 pockets on the side, and then plenty of differing options for either hydration or safe spaces, zip pockets for your keys and the such like. It's also got an inbuilt quiver for your poles, which gives quick storage options for when you're on the move. It's also got space for a water bladder along the back, and you can even remove some of the back support if you want an ultra light option. Grivel are over 200 years old, and for 2026 they've had a pretty significant rebrand and update of pretty much their entire collection, including the Spartan packs. There's a 20, a 30 and a 45 litre version of this pack, and each features the same clean design, perfect for alpine climbing but also for UK trad. And if you're after something more fully featured, their Alpine Pro is exactly what you're looking for. They've also revisited the designs of their helmets, carabiners, ice axes and crampons, so there's a lot to look at with Grivel throughout the next 12 months. The Spartan features this nylon X-Pack material, which is pretty much bomb-proof. It's also virtually waterproof, although the usual caveats occur with regards to waterproofing and the fact there is a big hole in the top. That combination of abrasion resistancy and water resistancy though are perfect for when you're out and about in the British mountains. It's also got all the features you'd want for a fast and light alpine pack, and also the ability to remove certain parts when you don't need them and you want to strip the weight off further.